Taeho's back hurt. It always hurt after a 12-hour shift, but tonight felt worse than usual. He pushed his cleaning cart down the empty corridor of Orbital Station Harmony 7, his footsteps echoing in the silence. Everyone important had gone to sleep hours ago. The diplomats, the ambassadors, the rich traders, they were all in their comfortable quarters. Only the night shift workers remained, cleaning up after them. He stopped at the last conference hall and looked inside. The Grand Convergence Summit had met there today. Dozens of alien species, all sitting together talking about peace and trade. Taeho had seen some of them earlier. Tall ones, short ones, ones with scales, ones with fur. All of them important. All of them too busy to notice a janitor. The room was a mess. Food wrappers on the floor, drinks spilled on tables, chairs pushed everywhere. Taeho sighed and got to work. His hands moved automatically. Sweep, wipe, organize. He had been doing this for 3 years now. 3 years since he left Earth to make money for his sister Hana's medical treatment. 2 hours later, the hall was clean. Taeho's stomach growled. He looked at his watch. 2 in the morning, station time. He was done for the day. He pushed his cart to the maintenance area and sat down on an old crate. His entire body felt heavy. From his locker, he pulled out a small meal pack. It was his last one. He had 3 more days until payday, but he had already sent most of his credits home to Earth. Hana needed them more than he did. He could manage on rationed food. He had done it before. Taeho opened the pack. Synthetic rice and vegetable protein. It did not smell great, but it was food. He was about to take his first bite when he saw her. A woman sat in the corner of the maintenance corridor, almost hidden in the shadows. She wore old, torn robes, the kind that lower caste servants wore in the Velrothi Empire. Her head was down, her shoulders slumped. She looked small and tired. Taeho recognized her. He had seen her around the station, always cleaning, always working, always alone. The other workers ignored her. Some even treated her badly. Taeho had once seen a Novak supervisor yell at her for being too slow. She looked hungry. Taeho stood up and walked over to her. "Hey," he said softly. "You okay?" The woman looked up, surprised. Her eyes were strange, pale and distant. For a moment, Taeho thought he saw something shimmer around her, but then it was gone. She looked down again quickly. "I am fine," she said. Her voice was quiet, careful. "Have you eaten?" Taeho asked. She did not answer. Taeho sat down near her, not too close. He did not want to make her uncomfortable. "I have some food," he said. "Not much, but we can share." The woman shook her head. "No, that is yours." "It is just food," Taeho said with a smile. "And it is not very good food either, but no one should go hungry." He opened the meal pack and split it in half. He held out one portion to her. "Please, I insist." The woman stared at the food, then at him. She looked confused, like she could not understand why he was doing this. Slowly, carefully, she took the food. "Thank you," she whispered. They ate in silence for a while. Taeho did not mind. He was used to quiet. Finally, he spoke. "My name is Taeho. I work night shift maintenance." "Yura," the woman said after a moment. "Nice to meet you, Yura." Taeho took another bite of his rice. "How long have you been working on the station?" "Not long," Yura said. She ate slowly like she was trying to remember how. "It is hard work, is it not?" Taeho said. "Everyone always wants something cleaned, fixed, or moved, and they never say thank you." He laughed a little. "But the pay is okay. I send most of mine back to Earth. My sister Hana is sick. She needs treatment." Yura looked at him. "You send your money to help your sister?" "Of course," Taeho said. "She is family. She would do the same for me." He smiled. "Besides, I do not need much. I have a place to sleep, food to eat, and work to do. That is enough." "You give away your food and money," Yura said slowly. "Why?" Taeho shrugged. "Because they need it more than I do. Is that strange?" Yura did not answer. She just stared at him with those pale, distant eyes. They finished eating. Taeho stood up and stretched. "I should get some sleep." Another shift tomorrow. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his cafeteria access card. He held it out to Yura. Here, take this. What is it? Yura asked. It is my staff card, Tejo said. You can use it in the worker cafeteria. If you're hungry, go there. They will not ask questions. The card has my name, but they barely look at those things. Yura stared at the card like it was something precious. I cannot take this. You need it. I will get a new one, Tejo said. It was a lie. Replacement cards cost credits he did not have, but Yura looked like she needed it more. Please. Just use it if you need food. Slowly, Yura took the card. Her fingers touched his hand for just a second. They felt cold. Thank you, Tejo, she said. Her voice sounded different now, stronger. No problem, Tejo said with a smile. We workers have to look out for each other, right? No one else will. He waved goodbye and walked away, heading to his small sleeping quarters. Yura sat alone in the corridor, holding the access card. She looked at it for a long time. Then she stood up. Her form shimmered, just for a second, and something changed in the air around her. She touched a small device hidden under her robe. Commander Vel, she said quietly in a language that was not human. I have found something unexpected. A voice answered from the device. What have you found? My queen? Yura looked down the corridor where Tejo had disappeared. I am not certain yet, but I must know more. Continue the observation protocol. Say nothing to the others. As you command. Yura looked at the access card again. In 3 months of walking among the workers of this station, wearing her disguise, watching how different species treated those they thought were beneath them, she had seen cruelty, indifference, and contempt. She had seen species who claimed to be civilized treat servants like objects. But this human, this tired, poor, hungry human, had given away his last meal and his means to get more food to someone he thought was a stranger. He asked for nothing in return. He did not even seem to think it was special. Yura had tested hundreds of species. She had walked among countless civilizations. She had seen so much darkness. But tonight, in a dirty maintenance corridor, a human janitor had done something she did not expect. He had been kind, and that changed everything. Commander Vel stood in the hidden observation room, watching the security monitors. His forearms were crossed, his mandibles clicking with worry. On the screens, he could see the Velrothi Queen walking through the station corridors in her disguised form. She looked like a weak, tired servant. No one knew who she really was. She has been doing this for 3 months, Vel said to his second officer, Lieutenant Kira. Walking among them, watching them, testing them. And she has found nothing but disappointment, Kira nodded. The other species have failed the Queen's test. They treat their workers badly. They are cruel to those they think are weak. And the humans? Vel asked. The same, Kira said. The Queen has observed 247 human interactions. Most showed indifference. Some showed cruelty. Until tonight. Vel looked at the monitor that showed Tejo walking to his quarters. One janitor shares his food. One kind act. Is that enough to change her judgment? The Queen seems to think it is important, Kira said carefully. Vel made a worried sound. The fate of Earth hung in the balance. The Velrothi Empire was one of the 3 most powerful civilizations in the galaxy. When they judged a species unworthy, that species was cut off from galactic society for centuries. No trade, no communication, no help. Just isolation until they evolved or destroyed themselves. Humanity was young, violent. They had wars, pollution, and conflicts. The Velrothi had watched them for years, and the evidence was not good. This summit was supposed to be humanity's final test. If they failed, Earth would be quarantined. Queen Vel-Yura herself had come to make the final judgment, but she had not come as a queen. She had used a perception filter, ancient Velrothi technology that changed how others saw her. To everyone on the station, she looked like a low-caste servant named Yura, someone powerless, someone forgettable. She had done this to see the truth. Anyone could be nice to a queen. But how did they treat someone who could do nothing for them? That revealed a species' true nature. And what had she found? Cruelty, neglect, indifference. Until Teho. Vel watched the queen enter her secret chambers. She dropped the perception filter, and her true form returned. She was tall and graceful, her skin glowing with soft light. Her eyes looked like they held galaxies. She was beautiful and terrifying, a being of immense power. "Commander," she said, "increase monitoring on the human-designated Teho. I want to know everything about him." "Yes, my queen," Vel said, "but if I may ask, why?" "One act of kindness does not erase all the negative data we have collected." The queen was quiet for a moment. "You are correct, Vel. It does not. But it raises a question I must answer. Was this human's kindness an anomaly, or is there something in this species we have not seen?" Over the next few days, the queen continued her observations. She used Teho's cafeteria card 3 times. Each time, the staff barely looked at it. They just gave her food. It worked exactly as Teho said it would. He had given away something valuable and received nothing in return. She watched Teho work. He was always kind to others. When an old Novak worker named Quan moved too slowly, Teho helped him without being asked. When a new worker made a mistake, Teho showed her the correct way with patience. When someone needed a shift covered, Teho volunteered even though he was tired. The queen also attended the summit meetings in her disguised form, cleaning in the background while the powerful talked. She heard everything. One day she was cleaning near Director Sang, the human who ran the station. He was talking to other station officials. "The summit is taking too long," Sang complained. "These aliens are too demanding, and the lower deck workers are getting restless. They want better pay." "Ignore them," another official said. "They are replaceable. We can always find more desperate people who need work." "Exactly," Sang said. "Workers like that are disposable. Keep them hungry and they will work harder. It is just economics." The queen's hand tightened on her cleaning cloth. This was the human in charge of the station. This was what he thought of his own people. The next day, something happened that made the queen's decision more urgent. A Torvan diplomat was walking through the mid-level corridor when he dropped his datapad. Old Quan, the Novak worker, was cleaning nearby. He picked up the pad and tried to give it back, but he moved slowly because his joints hurt. "You stupid creature," the Torvan shouted. "You touched my property with your filthy hands. Clean faster or get out of my way." Quan bowed his head. "I am sorry, Honored One. I only tried to help." "I do not need help from something like you," the Torvan said. He pushed past Quan, knocking the old worker to the ground. Teho was at the end of the corridor. He saw everything. He ran over and helped Quan stand up. "Are you okay?" Teho asked. "I am fine," Quan said sadly. "It was my fault. I should have moved faster." "No," Teho said firmly. "It was not your fault. He was being cruel." The Torvan heard this and turned around. "What did you say, human?" Teho looked at the Torvan calmly. "I said you were being cruel. Quan was trying to help you. You did not need to treat him that way." The Torvan's face turned dark with anger. "How dare you speak to me like that? I am a diplomatic representative. You are nothing but a cleaner." "Maybe," Teho said, "but even cleaners know the difference between right and wrong." "I will report you," the Torvan shouted. "You will lose your job." "Then report me," Teho said calmly, "but it will not change the fact that you were wrong." The Torvan stormed away. Quan looked at Teho with worry. "You should not have done that. You will get in trouble." Teho helped Quan pick up his cleaning tools. "It is okay, Quan. Someone had to say something." The queen watched this from down the corridor. She had seen everything. After Teho and Quan left, she spoke into her hidden communicator. "Vel, I need full records of that interaction. The human Taiho just defended another worker at risk to himself." "We recorded it, my queen," Vel responded. "But the Torvan diplomat has already filed a complaint with Director Sang. The human may be punished." The queen felt something she had not felt in a long time: anger at injustice. That evening she made her decision. She would continue observing, but she would also prepare. The fate of humanity would be decided soon. But now she had seen something that complicated everything. She had seen that among the cruelty and indifference, there were humans who chose kindness. Humans who helped others even when it cost them something. Humans who stood up for what was right even when it was dangerous. One question remained. Were there enough of these humans to save their species? Or was Taiho truly alone in his kindness? The queen needed to know. And time was running out. The summit would end in 3 days. After that, she would make her final judgment on humanity. And once that judgment was made, it could not be changed. Earth's future hung in the balance, and nobody except the queen and her guards knew it. The alarm started at 0400 hours, a loud, harsh sound that woke everyone on Orbital Station Harmony 7. Taiho jumped out of his bed, his heart racing. He had never heard this alarm before. It was the emergency evacuation signal. He pulled on his work clothes and ran into the corridor. Other workers were there too, looking confused and scared. Nari, a young maintenance worker, grabbed his arm. "What is happening?" she asked. "I do not know," Taiho said. "Let us find out." They ran to the main corridor where a screen showed the emergency message. Taiho's blood went cold as he read it. Critical system failure. Coolant leak. In lower maintenance tunnels. Toxic gas spreading. Evacuation in progress. "A coolant leak," Nari whispered. "That gas can kill us in hours." More workers arrived. Old Quan was there, moving slowly. A Novak engineer named Bora. 2 human mechanics named Jisoo and Doyen. They all looked at the screen with fear. "We need to get to the evacuation pods," Jisoo said. They ran toward the evacuation area, but when they arrived, they found the doors sealed. A red light blinked above it. Restricted access. Taiho pressed the door control. Nothing happened. He tried his access card. Still, nothing. "What is going on?" Doyen shouted. He banged on the door. "Let us in," a voice came through the speaker. It was Director saying. "Attention all lower deck personnel. The evacuation pods have limited capacity. Priority is being given to diplomatic staff and essential personnel. Please remain calm and proceed to the safe zones on decks 5 through 7. Emergency services will reach you as soon as possible." "Safe zones?" Bora said. "There are no safe zones. The coolant gas will reach everywhere." Taiho felt cold anger in his chest. He understood what was happening. The people in power were saving themselves first. The workers, the people they called disposable, were being left behind. "We are on our own," Taiho said quietly. Nari looked at him with scared eyes. "We are going to die?" "No," Taiho said firmly. "No, we are not. Listen to me, all of you. I have been cleaning this station for 3 years. I know every corridor, every tunnel, every shaft. There is another way." "What way?" Quan asked. "The coolant junction," Taiho said. "If we can reach it, we can manually shut off the leak. We can reroute the coolant to the emergency tanks." "That is in the contaminated zone," Jisoo said. "The gas is already there." "I know," Taiho said. "But if we do not try, we all die anyway. If we try, maybe we can save ourselves and everyone else still on this station." The workers looked at each other. They were scared, but they were also angry at being abandoned. "I am with you," Nari said. "Me too," Quan said, even though his hands shook. One by one, the others agreed. 8 workers total. 8 people that the station director thought were disposable. Taiho led them through the maintenance shafts. He knew these paths well. They crawled through tight spaces, climbed down ladders, and navigated through the station's hidden arteries. The gas alarms got louder as they went lower. "Stay together," Taiho called out. "Watch your breathing. If you feel dizzy, say something." They reached a sealed hatch. Taiho opened it, and they entered a large room filled with pipes and machinery. This was the main coolant control room. The air here smelled wrong, sweet and chemical. "The gas is here," Bora said, coughing. "We need to work fast," Taiho said. He looked at the control panels. Most of them were dead. The automated systems had failed. Jisoo, Doyen, check the pressure valves. Bora, see if you can get any of these computers working. Nari, help me with the manual overrides. They worked together. Taeho felt proud of them. They were scared, but they did not give up. This was humanity at its best, he thought. People helping each other when things were bad. But there was a problem. Taeho, Bora called out. The main coolant valve is jammed. Someone needs to go into the valve chamber and release it manually. Where is the chamber? Taeho asked. Bora pointed to a small door with warning signs all over it. In there. But Taeho, that chamber is filled with concentrated gas. Even with a mask, someone would only have a few minutes before the toxins shut down their body. They would die. The room went quiet. Everyone understood. Someone had to go in there to save everyone else, but whoever went would not come out alive. Taeho looked at his friends. Nari was only 22. Kwan was old but had grandchildren waiting for him. Jisoo and Doyen had families on Earth. Bora had a mate back on the Novak homeworld. I will do it, Taeho said. No, Nari grabbed his arm. There has to be another way. There is not, Taeho said gently. And it should be me. You all have people waiting for you. But my sister Hana will get my credits. She can get her treatment. She will be okay. He smiled, even though his heart was breaking. It is okay, really. Taeho, Kwan said, his voice shaking. You are a good man, the best of us. No, Taeho said. I am just a janitor. But if a janitor can save everyone on this station, then that is a good way to go. He put on a breathing mask and opened the chamber door. The gas inside was thick and yellow. He could barely see. He turned back one last time. Take care of each other, he said. Then he went inside and sealed the door behind him. The valve was at the far end of the chamber. Taeho's eyes watered. His skin burned. He could feel the poison entering his body through his pores, even through his clothes. He stumbled forward, using the wall for support. He reached the valve. It was a big wheel, old and stuck. He grabbed it with both hands and pulled. It did not move. He pulled harder, using all his strength. His muscles screamed. His vision got blurry. The wheel turned a little, then a little more. Taeho's legs gave out and he fell to his knees. But he kept pulling. He thought of Hana. He thought of his friends outside. He thought of all the people on this station who deserved to live. The wheel turned all the way. He heard the sound of coolant rerouting through new pipes. He had done it. Taeho collapsed on the floor. He could not breathe anymore. His body would not move. He touched his communicator with his last bit of strength. Hana, he whispered, I am sorry I could not come home. Use the money for your treatment. Be happy. I love you. Everything went dark. But then, light. Bright light that hurt his eyes. The chamber door opened. A figure stood there, tall and shining. For a moment, Taeho thought he was dead and seeing an angel. Yura, he whispered. But she looked different. She was glowing. She looked like... You should run, he said weakly. It is dangerous here. The woman who he knew as Yura looked down at him with eyes like galaxies. She was crying. You would warn me even now, she said. Even as you die? She raised her hand. Light poured from her palm, filling the chamber. The yellow gas vanished. The air became clean. And Taeho felt the poison leaving his body, his strength returning. The other workers burst into the chamber. They stopped and stared. Yura's disguise was gone. They could see what she really was. What? Nari whispered. What are you? Yura looked at all of them. When she spoke, her voice had power. I am Queen Velyura of the Velrothi Empire, and I have seen enough. The station was in chaos. News spread quickly that Queen Velyura of the Velrothi Empire had been on Harmony 7 the entire time, disguised as a servant. Diplomatic representatives rushed to the emergency assembly. Everyone had questions. Everyone was scared. Taeho woke up in the medical bay. His body felt strange. Too healthy, too strong. The Velrothi medical technology had not just healed him. It had made him better than before. He sat up slowly. Easy, a voice said. Commander Vel stood nearby, all four of his arms crossed. Velrothi healing can be disorienting for humans. The others, Tejo said quickly. The workers. Are they okay? They are safe, Vel said. The station is secure. The coolant leak has been contained. He studied Tejo carefully. You almost died saving people who abandoned you. They were scared, Tejo said. People make bad choices when they are scared. Vel made a sound that might have been a laugh. The queen was right about you. Where is she? Tejo asked. Where is the queen? She is preparing for the emergency summit, Vel said. You should rest. I want to see her, Tejo said. I need to apologize. Apologize? Vel looked confused. For what? I treated her like a regular person, Tejo said. I gave her my cheap food. I offered her my cafeteria card like she was poor. I did not know she was a queen. Vel's expression changed. Human, do you understand what happened? The queen was testing your species. She wanted to see how you treat those you think are beneath you. And you? He paused. You treated her with kindness. You gave her food when you were hungry. You gave her your access card when you had no money to get another. You did this not because of who she was, but because of who you are. Tejo did not know what to say. Come, Vel said. The queen wants to speak with you before the summit. They walked through the station. Tejo felt people staring at him. Word had spread about what happened. The janitor who saved the station. The human who showed kindness to a disguised queen. He did not like the attention. Vel brought him to a private room. Queen Velura was there, wearing formal robes that shimmered like starlight. She looked at Tejo and smiled. How do you feel? She asked. Good? Better than good, actually. Tejo bowed awkwardly. Your Majesty, I am sorry. I did not know who you were. I treated you so casually. I offered you. Stop, the queen said gently. She walked closer to him. Tejo, do you know why I disguised myself? To test us, Tejo guessed. Yes, the Velrothi Empire needed to judge humanity. We watched your species for years. We saw your wars, your cruelty, your pollution. We saw humans treat other humans badly. We saw suffering. The queen's eyes were sad. We were ready to quarantine Earth, to cut you off from the galaxy for centuries, maybe forever. Tejo felt cold. Because we are not good enough? Because we thought you were too dangerous, the queen said. Young species often destroy themselves. We did not want you to destroy others too. She held up the cafeteria access card he had given her. But then you gave me this. You shared your last meal with me. You asked for nothing in return. You did not do it because you hoped for a reward. You did it because you saw someone hungry and you wanted to help. Anyone would have done that, Tejo said. No, the queen said firmly. In 3 months, I observed 847 individuals from 30 different species on this station. You were the only one who offered me kindness. The only one. Tejo did not know what to say. That made him sad. Why were people so cruel to each other? Then I watched you more, the queen continued. I saw you help Quan. I saw you defend him when the Torvan diplomat was cruel. I saw you volunteer to die so your friends could live. Her voice became soft. I saw humanity at its best. Not in your leaders, not in your rich people, not in your diplomats. In you. A simple janitor who thought nobody was watching. I am not special, Tejo said. That is exactly what makes you special, the queen said. You are ordinary, common. If your kindness existed only in special people, it would mean nothing. But it exists in you, a tired, poor, hungry worker who still chose to help others. That means something important. She handed him back his access card. I must go to the summit now. They are waiting. But I wanted you to know the truth. What you did mattered. What you are matters. Tejo watched her leave, still confused. He looked at Commander Vel. What happens now? Now the galaxy learns what the Queen discovered, Vel said, and your species is judged. The emergency summit filled the Grand Assembly Hall. Every diplomat was there, every representative. Even Director Sang sat in his position, looking nervous. Queen Velura entered in her full royal form. The room fell silent. Her guards, including Commander Vel, stood behind her. She walked to the center platform. "I am Queen Velura of the Velrothi Empire," she said. Her voice filled the room. "I came to this station 3 months ago to make a final judgment on humanity, to decide if they should join the galactic community or be isolated." The human diplomats looked terrified. The other species representatives watched with interest. Everyone knew this was important. "I walked among you," the queen said. "All of you. I wore a disguise and became someone powerless, someone you thought could not hurt you or help you, and I watched how you treated me." Director Sang's face went pale. "Most of you failed," the queen said. "I saw cruelty. I saw indifference. I saw species who claimed to be civilized treat workers like objects. I saw leaders who called their own people disposable." She looked directly at Director Sang. "I saw those in power abandon those they were supposed to protect." "Your Majesty," Sang stood up, his voice shaking. "If I had known—" "Exactly," the queen said coldly. "If you had known I was watching, you would have acted differently. But I saw who you really are when you thought nobody important was looking." Sang sat down, his face red with shame. "However," the queen continued, "I also saw something unexpected. I saw a human janitor named Taeho share his last meal with a stranger. I saw him give away his means to eat because someone looked hungry. I saw him defend an old worker from abuse. I saw him volunteer to die to save others." Her voice became stronger. "I saw ordinary humans doing extraordinary things when they thought nobody was watching." The room was completely silent. "Humanity is flawed," the queen said. "They are young, violent, and make terrible mistakes. But they also have something rare in this galaxy. They have compassion that exists even in their most common people. This quality, this instinct to help others without expectation of reward, is precious." She raised her hand. "I am therefore declaring that humanity has passed the Velrothi judgment. Earth will be welcomed into the galactic community with full alliance status." The human diplomats looked shocked and relieved. But the queen was not finished. "However," she said, and her voice turned hard, "leadership that treats people as disposable is not acceptable. Director Sang, you are removed from your position. You will face trial for negligence and abandonment. Any leader, human or otherwise, who fails to protect their people will answer to the Velrothi Empire." Guards moved forward and took Sang away. He did not resist. "Humanity will be held to high standards," the queen said to everyone. "You will have our technology, our protection, and our partnership. But you will also have our accountability. Show us the best of what you can be, not the worst." The summit erupted in discussion, but Taeho, watching from the back of the room where Commander Vel had brought him, felt overwhelmed. He had just wanted to help someone who looked hungry. And somehow, that simple choice had changed everything for his entire species. 3 weeks had passed since the summit. Taeho's life had become very strange. He still worked as a janitor. He insisted on it. But now, alien diplomats would stop and talk to him. Children wanted his autograph. News reporters from a dozen different worlds wanted interviews. He hated all of it. "You are famous," Nari said one day as they cleaned together. "The human who saved Earth." "I did not save Earth," Taeho said, scrubbing a stubborn stain. "I just shared some food. The Queen saved Earth." "You are too modest," Quan said. He moved better now. The Velrothi had given him medical treatment that fixed his old joints. "What you did mattered." Taeho did not argue. He had learned that his friends would not listen. So he just worked and tried to stay normal. But normal was getting harder. The Velrothi Empire had made good on their promises. Earth was now part of the galactic community. Trade agreements were being signed. Technology was being shared. Humans were learning things they never imagined possible. But there were also rules. New Earth laws said that leaders had to protect their people, not just the rich and powerful. Companies could not treat workers as disposable. Anyone who broke these rules would answer to both human courts and Velrothi observers. Some humans were angry about this. They said Earth should make its own rules, but most people were happy. Finally, ordinary people had protection. Taeho was in the middle of his shift when Commander Vel found him. "The Queen wants to see you," Vel said. "Is something wrong?" Taeho asked. "No, but someone has arrived for you." Vel brought him to the station's main docking bay. A small ship had just arrived from Earth. Taeho's heart started beating fast. Could it be? The ship's door opened. A young woman stepped out. She was thin but healthy-looking. Her eyes were bright and clear. When she saw Taeho, she started crying. "Appa!" she shouted. "Brother! Hana!" Taeho ran to her and pulled her into a hug. He held his sister tight, crying too. "You are here. You are okay. You look so healthy." "The treatment worked," Hana said through her tears. "The Velrothi sent doctors to Earth. They helped me. They helped so many people. And they paid for my trip here." She pulled back and looked at him. "You saved me, Appa. You sent all your money for my treatment. You went hungry for me." "You are my sister," Taeho said. "Of course I did." "And you saved the whole world," Hana said, laughing and crying at the same time. "My brother, the hero." "I am not a hero," Taeho said. "I am just your brother." A voice spoke behind them. "You are both." They turned. Queen Velura stood there, watching them with a gentle smile. Hana's eyes went wide and she bowed quickly. "Your Majesty," Hana said. "Please, stand up," the Queen said. "Taeho does not bow to me. His sister should not either." She walked closer. "I arranged for your transport, Hana. I wanted your brother to have his family with him." "Thank you," Hana whispered. "Thank you so much." The Queen looked at Taeho. "Walk with me?" Taeho looked at Hana. She nodded and smiled. "Go. I will wait here." Taeho walked with the Queen through the station. People stared, but the Queen's guards kept them back. "How are you adjusting?" the Queen asked. "It is strange," Taeho admitted. "People treat me differently now, but I am still just me." "That is good," the Queen said. "Stay yourself, Taeho. The galaxy needs more people like you." They reached a viewing window that looked out at the stars. Earth was visible in the distance, a blue and white ball. "I have been thinking," the Queen said, "about what makes a species worthy. I have judged hundreds of civilizations. Most fail because their leaders are corrupt, their people are cruel, or they destroy themselves with war." "What about the ones that pass?" Taeho asked. "They are rare," the Queen said, "and they all have one thing in common. Somewhere in their society, usually in the most common people, there exists a culture of helping others. Not because of law or religion or reward, but because it is simply the right thing to do." She looked at him. "Your species has problems, Taeho. Serious problems. Wars, pollution, inequality, cruelty. These things exist. But you also have people like you. People who share their food. People who protect the weak. People who sacrifice themselves for strangers. As long as these people exist, humanity has hope." "There are many people better than me," Taeho said. "Perhaps," the Queen said, "but you were the one I met. You were the one who showed me that humanity's soul is worth saving." She paused. "The Velrothi Empire has a tradition. When someone shows us great honor, we honor them in return. You shared your last meal with me. In my culture, this creates a bond, a debt." "You do not owe me anything," Taeho said quickly. "I disagree," the Queen said. She smiled. "Which is why I am making you an ambassador." Taeho stared at her. "What?" "Not a formal diplomat," the Queen explained. "You would be terrible at that, too honest, but an ambassador of human character. You will travel to other worlds. You will meet other species. You will show them what humanity can be at its best." "I do not know how to do that," Taeho said. "Yes, you do," the Queen said. "Just be yourself. Help people who need help. Show kindness without expecting reward. Teach others by example." She put her hand on his shoulder. You changed my mind about humanity by simply being a good person. You can do the same for others. Taeho thought about this. Can Hana come with me? Of course, the queen said. Family is important. And can I still clean? Taeho asked. I like cleaning. It is honest work. The queen laughed. It was a beautiful sound. You can clean every ship you travel on if that makes you happy. Okay, Taeho said. I will do it. But only if you promise me something. What is that? Help more humans like me, Taeho said. The workers, the poor, the forgotten people. They are good people. They just need a chance. That is already being done, the queen said. Earth's new laws ensure it. But I will do more, I promise you. They shook hands, Human and Velrothi, Janitor and Queen. 6 months later, Taeho stood on a Velrothi ship heading to the Novak homeworld. Hana was with him, excited to see new places. Commander Vel was there too, assigned as their guard and guide. Are you nervous? Hana asked. A little, Taeho admitted. What if I mess up? What if I make humanity look bad? You will not, Vel said. The commander had become a friend over the months. Just do what you always do. Be kind, be honest, be yourself. The ship landed on a beautiful green planet. Novak people came to greet them, people like Quan, with fur and gentle eyes. They were curious about the humans. Taeho and Hana spent weeks there. Taeho did not give speeches or attend fancy meetings. Instead, he worked alongside Novak workers. He helped them repair things. He shared meals with them. He listened to their stories and told them his own. The Novak people saw that humans could be kind, that humans knew the value of hard work, that humans treated others with respect, no matter their status. Word spread. Other worlds wanted to meet this human janitor who had changed a queen's mind. Taeho and Hana traveled to station after station, world after world. Everywhere they went, Taeho did the same thing. He helped people. He showed kindness. He made friends. And slowly, the galaxy's opinion of humanity changed. Back on Earth, people heard stories about Taeho. They felt proud. They also felt challenged. If one janitor could represent the best of humanity, what did that say about the rest of them? More humans started helping each other. More humans stood up against cruelty. More humans chose kindness. Not all of them. Humans were still flawed. But enough of them. Enough to matter. Years later, Taeho returned to Orbital Station Harmony 7. He was older now, with gray in his hair. Hana had married a Velrothi scientist and was happy. The galaxy was a better place. He walked through the station corridors, remembering. This was where it all started, where he shared his last meal with a disguised queen. Queen Velura was waiting for him in the maintenance corridor where they first met. She sat on the same crate where he had found her years ago. Hello, Yura, Taeho said with a smile. Hello, Taeho, she said. I thought we could share a meal, for old time's sake. She pulled out 2 meal packs, synthetic rice and vegetable protein. The same terrible food he had shared with her so long ago. They sat together and ate. Do you ever regret it? Taeho asked. Your decision to save humanity? No, the queen said. You proved I was right. Humanity has problems, but you also have something precious. You have people who choose kindness even when it is hard. There are not enough of us, Taeho said sadly. There is still so much cruelty in the galaxy. True, the queen said, but there are more kind people now than there were before. And it started with you. One person sharing one meal. That small act changed everything. They sat in comfortable silence, eating bad food together. A queen and a janitor. A friendship that saved a world. Thank you, Taeho said finally, for seeing the best in us, for giving us a chance. Thank you, the queen said, for showing me that the best of humanity exists in the most unexpected places. In tired janitors who share their last meal. In ordinary people doing extraordinary things, she smiled at him. You taught me something important, Taeho. True greatness is not about power or status. It is about character. It is about choosing to be kind when no one is watching. That is the measure of a soul. That is the measure of a species. Tejo thought about his sister, healthy and happy. He thought about the friends he had made across the galaxy. He thought about all the humans who were trying to be better because of what he represented. He was just a janitor. But maybe that was enough. Maybe ordinary people doing ordinary kindness could change the universe. And in a dirty maintenance corridor on a space station, sharing terrible food with a queen who had once been disguised as a maid, Tejo smiled. He had never wanted to be a hero. He had just wanted to help someone who looked hungry. Sometimes that is all it takes to change everything.